Shimmering Skies has been announced. Let's talk predictions. So with Lorcana recently announcing its newest set, Shimmering Skies, set to drop in LGS stores on August 9th, this of course comes with it a new set list and a new list of enchanted rares. So let's talk a little bit more about predictions for those enchanteds and why we're kind of coming up with those specific enchanted prediction themes. So the first prediction that we're gonna go with, and it should probably come as no surprise because it is a running theme at this point with the videos that we do, the first enchanted we're gonna go with for a prediction is Donald Duck. Now, again, this should probably come as no surprise because the theme that we're going off of here is that Donald Duck is a character cover artwork on the box, right? So it's similar to Ursula's Return, where we see Ariel, Ursula, and Sisu, and then also Inklands, where we see Jafar, Piglet, and Minnie. We're kind of continuing this theme where like we should probably get an enchanted on the box art. Now, when we look at Maui, and we're going to set him to the side for a second because I want to talk a little bit more about him later. When we set Maui and Vanellope to the side for a second and we look at Donald Duck in a vacuum and why it should be him, the first thing that comes to mind is this idea of a theme, right? We see the House of Mouse theme. We see, of course, Mickey having multiple enchanteds from the first chapter. We then see Minnie and Goofy both getting their shine in Ursula's Return, getting their enchanted rares. It stands to believe that this could be Donald's turn with Shimmering Skies. And we also notice a specific theme with the House of Mouse with respect to the Musketeer theme, right? I always love to call out the specific Musketeer promos that are very prominent in the collecting world of Lorcana, with Mickey and Goofy and Donald getting those specific Musketeers at those respective conventions. And then also you have retail enchanted Musketeer, or retail Musketeers, non-enchanted, as well within those specific sets. So again, being able to round out Donald makes a lot of sense. The one call out I will make with Maui on the box art is that we made this similar call out with Ariel on the box art last time, and it just so happened that Sisu and Ursula also got enchanteds as well, which was quite a shock. I mean, I don't think anybody saw that coming, especially with Sisu, who already had an enchanted within one of the previous sets as well. So Sisu having multiple enchanteds would not surprise me in the slightest if Maui got his enchanted. It's going to probably be the third time I'm going to say it at this point, probably 3 in a row. I am not predicting Moana as an enchanted for this set. However, I am most likely predicting her as an enchanted for next set, because if I understand this correctly, the next set should be coming out right on the heels of Moana 2, which should be set to drop November 27th of 2024. So understanding that those things could make for sort of a perfect blend of giving Moana that inevitable enchanted that she's going to get, that would make some sense. But again, I could see another Maui, but certainly from the box artwork perspective, most likely going to see Donald Duck. So we are going to lock in the prediction that Donald Duck will get one of those enchanted rares. This brings us to our second enchanted prediction, and this one may come a little bit more out of left field, but I do think that there is a consistency theme stringing together multiple sets from the story within Lorcana. So we're going to actually call out Bruno getting an enchanted rare for this set of Shimmering Skies. It's clear that Encanto made a grand entrance into the world of Lorcana in Ursula's Return, the previous set, seeing multiple cards within the Madrigal family, and then also seeing multiple enchanted rares in the form of songs. But inevitably, we would probably figure that there will be character enchanted rares that come into the fold. This is a perfect place to enter in Bruno. And it could, of course, be Maribel as well. I mean, there's multiple characters that you could go with here. I'm just going to go with Bruno. I mean, it feels right to me. Doesn't mean it is. I mean, who knows? It could be both of them, could be none of them. But this is where kind of the fun comes into play. But we're going to go with Bruno just from the understanding that the We Don't Talk About Bruno card, of course, very heavily used in the meta. Of course, I understand they probably most likely have these cards set up as enchanteds multiple sets in advance, but again, maybe that's pulling me a little bit in towards siding with Bruno over anybody else within the story. Obviously, he is sort of a side protagonist to Maribel, who is the main protagonist, but at the same time, it wouldn't be the first time that we saw this sort of exchange happen, right? Going right back to what we were talking about with Moana. Maui already has his enchanted rare, Moana has yet to get hers, and who knows, there's probably other examples of that, but we're going to lock in Bruno as that enchanted rare, and also it could look very good with that new Madrigal playmat that is going to come out. It looks absolutely phenomenal. So that's going to be our second prediction for Enchanted. Lock it in, Bruno as an Enchanted Rare. Moving into our final Enchanted Rare prediction. And this one is really just more so of a fingers crossed Enchanted prediction for me, just because the card has already been released. The artwork just looks absolutely phenomenal, and to me, it just feels like it is time. And so we are going to predict that Kristoff gets an Enchanted Rare for Shimmering Skies. Now I'm going to do my best to pull in as many tea leaves as I possibly can to give us a sense of feeling like this is going to be the case. But a lot of this just comes down to, I want to see that specific 9 uninkable card being an alternate art Enchanted Rare. It's just absolutely phenomenal. But a couple of things that we can confirm is that it is very much an endgame card, being uninkable, as well as being a rare. And if we stick with the theme that Lorcana has yet to make an Enchanted that is a lower rarity than rare, technically Kristoff does qualify here. So it does at least give us the base level footing to assume that this is possible, that it could be him. I'm also thinking in terms of the Lorcana story, right? We just recently got done with a big battle with Ursula, and now as we kind of move forward with the story, a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more lighthearted. Kind of seems like there's fireworks going on in the background, kind of coincides with Kristoff's artwork with the reindeer. These are all reasons to believe that it could get that Enchanted Rare, also being that modern Disney franchise of Frozen. It seems like it could work. Honestly, I could also see Olaf getting one as well. If I was being really picky, it'd be amazing to see Olaf with like Sapphire or Steel, just because it would sort of work well and gel well with the snow theme. But that's beside the point. It could be, again, same thing with Maribel and Bruno. You could see both, you could see none. That's the fun of these videos. We get to just sort of predict and see what happens from there. But really, this just comes down to the fact that Kristoff card as an Enchanted Rare alternate art would absolutely beam off of the card. So I am hoping that it is going to end up being an Enchanted Rare. We are going to set it as a prediction. I hope it comes to fruition. Lock it in, Kristoff as our third Enchanted Rare prediction. And the last prediction that we are going to make when it comes to the set of Shimmering Skies really is more of a theme prediction. So sort of getting away from specific Enchanted predictions, talking more about what we can expect from the set. I do expect a specific theme shift as it pertains to Shimmering Skies, and here's what here's what I mean from a breakdown perspective by that. So when we look at Lorcana Ursula's Return, of course, we noticed it, and I've called it out before, this idea of the portrait Enchanted Rare alternate arts. And just off the top of my head, I'm thinking about cards like Piglet, I'm thinking about Anna, I'm thinking about Goofy, I'm thinking about the Queen. I'm thinking of these specific artworks that are very much a dark background and sort of just portrait wrapped sort of alternate artworks of these specific characters, but also understanding the fact that that is very much a part of and coinciding with the overall story within Lorcana. It is sort of the crescendo of the first saga. They're sort of in the dark abyss battling Ursula. We understand that, right? So like if that is the theme that they're looking to capture, totally get that, totally understand it. I hope to see, and I am predicting that we will see, sort of a shift back to the themed Enchanted Rares. So in this case, I would talk about like Belle, Strange But Special being in the library, Cinderella Ballroom Sensation being, with the gates behind her, like about to go into the ball. Things like that, where you're kind of seeing a specific theme wrapped around the overall Enchanted Rare. So I do hope that we see that. Of course, the specific story of Lorcana, as we've seen within the content, we're going from sort of that big dark battle to more of a light, upbeat, hanging out, kind of starting of a new saga, a new era. They're having some sort of outdoor party, barbecue, something like that. Like, I do expect to see a little bit more of a light-hearted side of these alternate artworks. But that is going to be our prediction for the last piece of Shimmering Skies on that side of the predictions. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed today's content, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for the overwhelming love and support that you have given us in the comment section over the last few weeks, the amazing feedback, the amazing positivity. We are so unbelievably, eternally grateful for you all, and we will see you on the other side. Peace out.